They just need a streamlined attack plan against what they're looking for. Like, I think with most people, they consume tons of information that's not necessarily wrong information, just it's so much that they're overwhelmed that they don't actually take action on anything. So then they're like, yeah, well, this sucks, or it's hard, or it doesn't work. And I really think that's why. But realistically, I think if you have a very specific goal with the role that you're targeting, it's not that crazy to get into the space, I don't think. Like, and when I say get into the space, I mean relative to other things. Like, you have something that's like, okay, I want to be a doctor. Years of investment into your life, years of investment in terms of money, years of investment in terms of connections to get into that space. Like, you can't really skip that. But when I say getting into this space is easier, I mean the available information is out there. Most of it is free and available to learn. And then also, you have things like certifications that can give you the specific industry knowledge you need to even make it happen. Right. So when someone's like, okay, it's like super hard, I'm like, compared to a lot of other things, not really. I think you're literally just doing the wrong thing. I think that's probably why people would say it's difficult or hard. But that's just my opinion at this stage. I don't know. Other people might disagree with me, but there's a number on the screen for people that disagree with me. And actually, let me take my phone off D&D and see, because I forgot that I had my phone on D&D. Really, I probably got to take it off the not take it off. I probably got to put it on the charger since I'm gonna be yapping for at least an hour or so, if we're being honest. Um, let's see what else is going on here. Yeah. Yeah. How valuable do you think SQL is in your field? I think the understanding of SQL, like literally how to write the SQL queries, is probably the most valuable because that same framework that you use for writing SQL queries will be the same type of framework you'll use when you're writing KQL logs or Splunk logs or so on and so forth. It really just depends. But overall, I think it's very valuable to learn. And shout out to my YouTube people. I got some people in the YouTube live stream. Definitely make sure you go ahead and like the YouTube live stream as well. I have an interview tomorrow for a junior sysadmin role, but I've never had any jobs, but I have complex labs. Then the interview really should be you responding with the majority of your interview questions with either you know the answer and you respond with a technical correct answer based on what they're looking for, or you say, hey, I'm not really sure, but based on the projects that I've done in regard to A, B, and C, here's how I think I would solve the problem. And I also do think people misuse like the point of having labs as well too. They're supposed to expose you to let's say a good chunk of how enterprises use the tools or may use an environment, but they're supposed to be like a sounding board for how you're going to respond in the real world and also like how you're going to answer those interview questions as well. But I got some questions on YouTube. I'm multi-streaming on YouTube and TikTok, by the way. So I might look away or something. But who's your favorite fighter? By the way, everyone in these streams want to say who you look like, which is weird, but I think you look similar to John Jones. I look similar to John Jones. That's interesting. That's super interesting. But I would say my favorite fighter right now is probably either Armon or who's that guy who just defended his title against that Japanese kid a second ago. Probably out of those two, I would say. Do you think the AZ305 is worth it if you already have the AZ104? The 305 comes up a good bit in job requirements. I think is good to have under your belt. In terms of value, I don't think it's every single day as like an engineer you're going to be literally architecting environments. I mean, of course, depending on the org, but I think it's valuable overall, especially on paper, because there's a lot of roles that'll have the 104 and the 305 listed for opportunities, especially in the cloud space. If it's like a heavily regulated industry like banking or something, it's going to be super valuable. But shout out to my YouTube people. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and like the live stream. I think that helps out a lot on YouTube. I'm going for the SC300. I think generally the vast majority of the Microsoft cloud certifications or the Microsoft identity and access management certifications are really, really useful. They're not going to be your golden ticket to getting into the space, I'll say, but I will say they are very valuable in terms of the actual hands-on experience that you get from the knowledge that you get. And that might have been a word soup, but what I'm saying is the certifications are valuable because a lot of them are They're not just like multiple choice. You actually have to understand how to use the tool for you to pass the exam. Like, especially with the AZ-104, you're not going to pass that exam if you actually don't know how to use the services associated with the certification. Like, you literally have to know, okay, this is the best service. This is how I use it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And real quick, if somebody wants to call in and ask a question, you can. Everybody gets one question. You could just call the number on the screen, but I'm not necessarily bringing people up on the live. But if you want to call the number on the screen and ask a question, feel free to do so. How did you land your first job? How was the process? Literally just doing projects. The project that got me hired into cloud DevOps was me building out a secure database solution for the back end of an application. So I was paired up with some people in university for building out a application on the Azure cloud platform. Clearly, we weren't really like the most experienced with Azure, but when you're in university, you get free Azure credits to use the platform for free. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to be the DBA since I hate development. So I spun up a privately hosted Azure SQL database, made sure that the application could connect to it, made sure it was privately hosted, made sure there was private endpoints, made sure the firewall was set up. And just walking the interviewer through that project was enough to get hired. And at the time, I think I literally only had like, the AZ-900 or something. So just off of me understanding the services that were available to me from the platform, I was able to actually craft my own solution for what I'm looking for, honestly. I got a new job. Wow. Shout out to Callie for getting a job. Do you think it's worth learning SOC? Yeah, it's in the cybersecurity space. It's in the IT space. Generally, it's really, really good. I go to Midlands Tech to get my cert in cybersecurity. Should I transfer to University of South Carolina for my bachelor's? I think any degree is a good degree, but it's not the golden ticket to getting into the space. It's good, but it's not going to be some golden ticket for entry. Like, don't think that just because you have a degree or multiple degrees or formal education that you're just going to get hired. Looks like we got our first caller. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question, and don't ask me some shit that you could just Google, like a thoughtful question, because you only get one.
Okay, got you. Before I ask my question, though, I just want to say, I've been following you for a minute. You kind of inspired me because I am also from St. Thomas as well, so it's pretty cool seeing someone came from where I came from doing what I'm trying to do.
Hey, man. Shout out to you, long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right, so my question here is, what will the next generation of cloud engineers look like coming out of college, or at least transitioning, with all these trends going on in 2026? Follow up by, for someone personally, what are some tips I could do to stay ahead, given that I'm so young and I'm still in college getting ready to transition out?
So in my opinion, the vast majority of newer cloud engineers really should build on that AI skill set, leverage it as much as you can. There's a lot of businesses that are trying to pump AI agents, AI projects into the cloud space without the appropriate knowledge to secure and host those things or even privatize those things. You'd be surprised how many like high level, high income, high revenue generating businesses don't have that. And it's not their fault because a lot of this stuff is relatively new, but like, I think that's what the next generation of cloud people should focus on, in my opinion.
Okay, sounds good. And then when you say
everybody gets one, brother. Gotta respect the call.
Oh, is this one? Okay.
All right, good deal. What do you say? Next generation of cloud engineers will look bald, lift heavy, and take no shit. Shout out to Levi. I like when Levi comes into the chat. If y'all don't know Levi, the cloud guy, he's actually a cloud manager. Like, I'm an individual contributor. I don't manage teams, and I don't want to ever really, or at this point in my life, if we're being honest. But he's a manager, so he knows what he's talking about. And I like having other senior people come to the live and then also disagree with me, because I think disagreement breeds conversation, and conversation breeds different perspectives. But shout out to Levi. He's a director. I'm sorry, he's not a manager. He's a director. So he manages other managers who manage teams. He's like a manager of managers, if we're being honest here. And whoever just called while I was on the line, I guess call back and I'll pick up. But for the most part, I will say, like, if you're thinking about getting into this space, it's not that it's so difficult to get in. It's that a lot of people consume tons of information and they don't actually act on it, and they consume so much information that they get overwhelmed or bogged down and don't actually make any decisions on getting into the space. I think that's really the main thing that makes it, quote unquote, difficult for people. And I'm just adjusting the live on the screen. I disagree about that. Well, then call in and tell me why you disagree. What's his name? Jameer Brown. Yeah, if you disagree with me, Jameer, just call in and tell me why you disagree with me. Like, I'm very interested. Just broken as a cloud security engineer. Any advice? Document everything and listen to people more senior than you. Honestly, that's probably like the best 2-step framework I would advise anybody to do, regardless of what role they're getting into. Um, so I want to start. Excuse me. I want to start. Somebody said something about starting roles. So I want to start in a cyber certs after my graduation. What should I get? Security Plus, and get that before graduation. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question. And also real quick with that one question, I'm gonna let the chat decide if I even answer it because sometimes people be asking me shit that they could really just Google. But what is the question that you have, brother?
No, I was just in the chat, man. I'm a security architect I'm not gonna say my company, but at a Fortune 500, and I like your content. Just want to just come and have a conversation, man. I like talking tech.
Love it, brother. Appreciate. I like I said, I like having senior people in the chat. So I guess to start this
All right,
conversation,
I'll give
what do
you
you
a
have?
question. How are you dealing with vibe coders in the business on a security aspect?
I think generally it's only going to grow with time, and then I think that whatever they build, they need to own and manage all of it. And when I say all of it, I mean the security associated with what they build. I don't think it's good for anyone when somebody vibe codes something into existence and then they push it off to security and say, "Here, secure this." I think that's dumb. I think if businesses are going to accept teams doing that, then they need to force them to own it as well.
Right. Right. So, for example, you have a merchandise team. They usually have a set developer who will give you that information. A lot of these businesses, you just have a regular director doing these pushing this code. So how do you combat that on like getting that information? Because you can tell them to own it as much as you can, but if they don't know what's going on in the back end, how do you attack that problem?
So I'm gonna let the chat decide if you get that second question in. Real quick, chat.
Oh, my bad. I know that's the question.
All good. Real quick, chat. So, one, to skip the caller, two, to keep the caller, chat. What do you guys think? I mean, I think it's a pretty interesting question overall, but I want to see what they say. One, to skip the caller, two, to keep the caller, chat. And I like to make it interactive because just because I want to talk about it doesn't mean they want to hear about it. You know what I mean?
No,
It looks like they're about split down the middle, so I guess I'll give it a coin toss there. But that second question was like, what do you do when they push back? Hello? Oh, okay. I mean, we saw a lot of twos like right after he hung up. That's pretty funny. But shout out to my YouTube people. We got 10 people on YouTube. Could we get 10 likes on the YouTube side? Push it out a little bit. I think I had like 50 people on YouTube a little while ago. I'm 18. I do AZ900, AZ104, and Master Kubernetes Terraform. Is that okay? Well, I would get out of the mindset of thinking that you're gonna master anything in this space. Like, that's the very first thing I would do. Get out of the headspace that you're gonna quote unquote master anything. Like, if anything, you're gonna be continuously learning a better way, a more efficient way, a different way. It's just like gonna be the way. Bro, I got hit for a role and they renewing my secret and upgrading to a top secret. I need this. Breon, mastering Kubernetes, yeah, it's not happening. Not that it's not happening, but like you're not gonna just master anything. You're gonna iterate over time and just learn new things. But I would never think I'm a master at anything. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question. What's your name and what do you do? And make sure the question is good. Don't ask me some shit you could Google because that's what a lot of college students do.
Yo, I got you. My name is Noor. I also go by Ghost. I'm a junior in high school. I'm also a cybersecurity analyst and an OSA analyst. My main question was, right now, what I mainly do is penetration testing. And I just had a question. As a 16-year-old who's trying to get deeper into penetration testing and actually build a name in the community, I've already built connections with people like Serho and people like Ryan Montgomery, who I personally know. But I've also wanted to build a more bigger name in the penetration testing field, as I'm known for OSINT, not penetration testing.
I heard what you said, but what is the specific question?
My main thing is, how do you build a name for yourself in a field like penetration testing?
Anything that's niche, I mean, generally social media amplifies it. If you just post about it, you could build a name similar to like how I built my platform here. But I mean, also you want to consider what the purpose of doing that is for. Like, are you just doing? I'm not asking you to answer that question now, but I'm just saying you need to consider like what is the purpose of you doing that? Because name doesn't mean that you make money. Just because somebody has like 200,000 followers doesn't mean that they're actually even monetizing or getting paid for it. So I would say just figure out if one, are you doing the name just to have a name? Like, is it going to be monetized? And then two, I mean, what's the end goal anyways? But post on social media or something. That's literally like the easiest thing you could do.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I was trying to go for. My main thing was, I wanted to just build a name so I could actively be contacted by companies to do either audits or be invited to their private vulnerability disclosure programs or bug bounty programs.
Well, you got to figure out how much are they going to pay you to even be there. There's not really like building a name isn't the same way that like building a platform, let's say like for example on social media, is not necessarily going to be the way that you leverage that for opportunities in an enterprise way. I mean, I'm not in penetration testing, so that environment might be a bit more niche, but that's there's a particular way that you actually acquire work based on your skill set, and I wouldn't necessarily say a social media platform is the way to go about it.
Okay, what do you think is the right way to go about it? As
Everybody
I've done multiple.
everybody gets one question, brother.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. No worries. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my YouTube people. If we could get some likes in here, that would be fire. I was about to say AI leveraging with penetration testing is where he needs to go to. Yeah, I mean, I think I didn't say that because I felt like that was a no-brainer. Maybe I should have said that, but like, if someone's gonna build a name for themselves or a name for yourself and a brand or a platform are like two different things. If everybody knows the name Ghost or something that is a penetration tester, I mean, yeah, it may get you in certain conversations, but is it going to pay you? Like, what exactly will be the point of doing that if you're not building it the right way and building it with enterprise engagements in mind? Building a name in this industry, GG, my boy. I mean, I more or less did it in like a year. I don't think it's like crazy to do. I think anybody could do it as long as you're consistent and posting and such. Like, I think anybody could do it, but if it's just like for the sake of building a name, I would consider the motive and the investment of time and energy. Shout out to my YouTube folks. If you're just joining in, definitely drop a like on YouTube. You want to be famous or make money? Pick one. Yeah, because you won't always get both of those things. Like dead ass, I could go and find a content creator right now that has like almost 200,000 followers or something, and they don't get paid a cent from it. And then similarly, I could go find a content creator that has like 1,000 followers that makes like multiple six figures a month. So just because you have a name doesn't mean it's going to necessarily benefit you in the way that you think. It's mainly to make money, but I'm known in very big cybersecurity communities like OSSEC. Are they paying you? Is the question I would have, Ghost. Are they paying you? If they're not paying you, then like, and what are you, 16, 18? Like, I don't give a damn what age you are. They better be paying you if you really have the name that you say you have. The content should be the gateway to the consulting engagement, kind of. Like, I'm going to be honest, all the high-level engagements that I've been approached with outside of making social media content was not because I had social media content. Like, those things won't always like go together. Just because you have content doesn't mean somebody's going to go, actually, I want to pay this guy $200,000 to do this work. That's not how it's always going to work, honestly. But it's still pretty dope. I would literally figure out how can I monetize what I have if you have that name. Thanks for doing all this and giving to the community. Shout out to David P5280. Did you like the stream, David? If you are getting some sauce either from my community or you're just tuning into the live on YouTube, make sure you like the stream. Let's get it out to tons of people. Due to the firewall, I can't watch your channel. Do you not have a phone? Exactly. We want you to grow, but it seems you want to get contracts. Growing don't mean anything if that's not what you really want. Exactly. So they can't pay me? What do you mean they can't pay you? Like if they are just trying to get you to grow, like let me put it this way. If you have a name that's worth being invited to these private conversations, there's value there. And if there's value there, you need to be compensated for it. If I had a 16-year-old, if I had a little brother, if I had a 16-year-old or 18-year-old little brother and they say, oh, I'm getting invited to these private penetration testing events to showcase my skills, I'm not letting his ass go unless a dollar amount is associated with it. Like, what do you mean I'm 16 and I can do all these things other 16-year-olds can't and I'm not going to pay for it? That's dumb as fuck. That's just me personally. Trying to become an expat cloud security engineer. I'm 20, just got an IT role. I'm doing the AWS track. What do you think? Any cloud platform is really good. Like the platform doesn't really matter that much. The depth of your skill set on the platform is what's really going to pay dividends. And let me turn my phone up just in case somebody calls me. But what was I about to say? Yeah, shout out to my YouTube folks who got 20 YouTube viewers. Can we get 20 likes on this YouTube live stream right now? If you're in here watching, getting some sauce, you came from my free community or you're a part of my free community or something, definitely drop a like on YouTube. Let's get 20 viewers, 20 likes. Easy work right there. But, bro, in Python, senior level is more about meetings rather than technical work, ? It's subjective. It depends on the business. Like, there's some managers who do meetings all day. There's some managers who have minimal meetings because their team is doing the meetings for them. But I would say it really depends on the org. But for the most part, like, yes, if you're in management, you're objectively going to have more meetings than someone that's an individual contributor. Somebody said, if I get that top secret clearance, I'm buying a Lambo easily by next week. Well, if you to buy a Lamborghini, you either have to know someone who has one that will sell it to you, or you got to be in the right groups for you to even get the opportunity to buy one, or you go walk into the Lamborghini store and buy it, which is a decision I would not advise someone to do unless they love Lamborghinis and that's their only hobby or some shit. Oh, and I'm supposed to make a post to TikTok. So it's not smart to get into management to avoid the technical work. Just because you're a manager doesn't mean you're not going to be technical. If anything, you still got to be technical if you're going to be a manager in most high level places. But the work is going to be more people management rather than technical work management. Like, your job is to empower your team to be able to get things done from a technical perspective while being hands off. And I'm saying this based on me working with good and bad managers. I am not a manager. I'm not a director. I'm an individual contributor. But I believe I know what a good manager should look like. But that's, like I said, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I really thought that the caption would be a little bit more provocative for people, but I guess not. TikTok just doesn't really like my lives anymore. I don't have as much viewership on TikTok as I usually did in the past. Somebody said, what's the quick way? Like, what should I do before trying to learn cloud security? There is no quick way. Like, if you're looking for a shortcut, if you're looking for a quick way into this space, and when I say quick, I mean quick with quotation marks around it, you sound like the type of person to go to the gym and be like, I'm going to hit legs and then never get under a squat rack. That's the type of person you sound like when you say some shit like, what's the quick way? There is no quick way. Shout out to my YouTube folks. We got 18 viewers. Let's get 18 likes in the chat. Go ahead and like. Oh, yeah, I got to pin the community. Shout out to Fred for letting me know to pin the community in the YouTube live chat. I always forget to do that. I'm going to pin it right now. Shout out to Fred. Join my free community here, and I'm going to pin it. And for those of you in YouTube, if you join the community, if you're on YouTube and you join the community, comment school in the chat and then call in and I'll answer whatever question you have. Because some people join on YouTube and they're not part of the community. Maybe it comes with the business quality view versus quantity. What do you mean by that? AWS or Azure? It doesn't really matter. I filmed a YouTube video on that. And I need to, it's getting edited and I'm going to post it later. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Like, I think AWS is a mixed bag because it holds the majority of the market share, but I think objectively Azure has more enterprise grade engagements because the vast majority of businesses work with Microsoft anyways. So they're naturally going to adopt the Microsoft cloud platform. Old and burger lover, yeah, I'm behind in life. LOL. What do you mean? AWS is more popular. Yeah, AWS is more popular, but like I said, you get a mixed bag. And once again, shout out to my YouTube folks. We got 20 viewers on YouTube. Let's get 20 likes in the chat. And make sure y'all join the community. If you have a question, call the number on the screen, and I'm answering it live. Have you ever met a good Azure cloud engineer? I'm still searching. Me? I'm a good Azure cloud engineer. I've worked with a lot of people in Azure that are far more skilled than I. Like, for sure. Do you think it's really that difficult to find that skill set, Levi? I mean, in your opinion? That's very, very interesting. And let me move this up here. I don't know if this will be a better view for people to call in, but I'm going to move the number thing up here. Like, I swear, bro, my live viewership gets cut so crazy on TikTok. Like, there's no reason why YouTube should have more viewership than TikTok, I feel. I don't even understand that shit. I wish I went Azure. I'm knees deep in Solutions Architect Associate. I mean, if you're just starting your journey, it doesn't matter which one you choose. Just pick one. Just pick something. The mouth way. So question mark XD. What you mean the mouth way? What do you mean by that? The mouth way. I'm 16. I'm getting paid through BBPS. I'm looking at a 10K payout, but unfortunately, ALSEC doesn't pay me. You're 16. Do you have family? Like, if you're 16, there should be some LLC in place where you should be getting paid from. And if there's nobody in your family that can help you with that, I'm deeply concerned, quite honestly. We interviewed for mid-level last year, and out of 100, only 2 knew Terraform. Well, Levi, do I have a proposition for you? If you're looking for an Azure cloud engineer to come on as a fractional consultant for a modest fee, I'd be more than happy to interview with your team, Levi. I guess that this might be the one case where someone watches me on social media and they might give me an interview. But if you're looking for a seasoned cloud professional, Levi, I'd be more than happy to assist you with your Azure work as well as finding quality Azure opportunities. Azure candidates, right? No, facts. I picked AWS. I'm sticking with it, but I see so many Azure engineer roles everywhere. It's very interesting. I've never heard somebody say that we're Midwest pay. We can't afford you. I mean, if it's C2C, I'm pretty sure you can. Midwest pay, as long as it's a C2C engagement, I would be open to whatever rate you guys have. As long as it's not some shit like $50 an hour. If it's like $50 an hour, I can't do nothing with you, brother. But I'm sure you guys have a reasonable budget, right? It's not like I need benefits or anything, right? So I'm sure you guys have it. Like, let's be real. You guys have it. You guys have it, Levi. You guys have it. I know you have it. But somebody says your number isn't reachable from my end and school is under maintenance. You might be calling from a country that's just way out of reach or something. I don't think I've ever had somebody say that the number on the screen wasn't available for them to call into. I think at about the 30-minute mark, I'm going to try and like restart my TikTok live. I don't know why my viewership is cut so much on TikTok. I don't know why it's cut so much. But what would you say is the budget for the opportunity, Levi? I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious what it is. It's crazy. The live on TikTok rocks content-wise, and there's a lot of engagement from the viewers. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I don't know if somebody like shadow banned my live stream. I don't get it if I don't get if somebody maybe might be reporting me every time I go live or something. Because just a second ago, I was at like almost 60 viewers. I was at like 54, and then it dropped to like 18 on TikTok. I don't get it, dude. I'm still gonna rock out and do my thing, but I might reset the live in a little bit. But we got a caller real quick. Let's see what they're talking about here. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question, and don't ask me some shit that you could just Google.
All right. So listen, I have a question. I'm in college right now. What would you say is the best certification for me to become a data analyst?
I'm not a data analyst. I'm like, whenever somebody asks me a question that's like on a skill set that I literally don't have, I'm always going to say I don't know. I don't know, but objectively, if you're trying to do anything in IT, the Security Plus certification is going to be an objective, amazing first step.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. There's only like one data analyst that I know on social media that I think would be able to help people out. Levi says our mid-level pay is like 110. Maybe we could do B2B. Our last engagement went very sideways. Well, then I'm curious, why did it go sideways? And 110 B2B, I think that's about $57 or something C2C. Why did it go sideways? I'm gonna wait for you to answer that question before I reset the live. Data analysts are smarty pants jobs me don't like. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If you ask me what a data analyst does, I have no idea what a data analyst does. I wouldn't even be able to tell you. But once Levi answers that question there, I'm gonna reset my TikTok live. Your IM video is awesome. Thanks for putting me on. Shout out to AutoNope23. Make sure you like the live stream on YouTube. If you're just coming in, if you're coming in from a YouTube video you watch, make sure you like the live stream. I want to get to like 50 likes on this live stream on YouTube. Yo, I had a rough day. You be in your bag. Talk extra slick. I'll be laughing for like 5 minutes straight. Thank you, kubectl guy and sudo apt install. Shout out to builder T2E. So Levi says they built out an environment that doesn't scale, hard to extend and adapt. That doesn't necessarily sound like it's sideways. It just sounds like IT. Well, when you say doesn't scale, I'll probably have to dig into the details there, but I'll be open if you guys could do like 60 an hour maybe or something. Let me answer this last question and then reset my live. It's very strange. Yeah, so hello caller, everybody gets one question. What's your name and what do you do?
Hey, my name is Dana. I'm an IT security analyst.
What's going on?
So my question was in reference to, I actually posted that IAM question or telling you that the video was great. I wanted to get your input on, are there two paths in IAM, like the engineering route? Because I'm seeing a lot of like IAM governance jobs. And is there like overlap or?
Yeah, so that's even more niche. Like I work with IAM, but I'm not an IAM guy. So in my opinion, if a role says governance, I'm assuming that you're not necessarily building out the ClickOps or the automations associated with IAM, but I'm assuming that your job is more around the actual like audit and validation of some things that other people may have built. Not that I know, but just based on the job title, that's what it sounds like in my opinion.
Gotcha. Cool. I'll check it out. But thank you so much, man, because your video is what made me start looking down that avenue. So appreciate it.
Absolutely. So Levi said, we want someone who will have skin in the game for long-term maintenance. Well, you guys, well, I'm gonna be, like I said, Levi, I'm not doing a pitch here, but we could do like an hourly rate and maybe like a retainer as well too. You said skin in the game. What do you guys want someone on for, like a year, 2 years or something? I'll be open to having some type of retainer or support along with that, but that's just, we're talking on live stream. That's just my thoughts when I hear that. I'm about to reset my live real quick. I don't know what's up with it. Well, not my YouTube live, but my TikTok live. Let me do it really quickly. Super crazy. I'm like, I'm super, what's the word? I'm super, what's the word? Paranoid. I'm paranoid that somebody somewhere is tampering with my TikTok live because I don't know why TikTok viewership is like low as hell. But shout out to my YouTube people. We got 22 people in here. Can we get 22 likes in the chat? If you're in YouTube live stream right now, can we get 22 likes? We're literally 1 like away on YouTube from 22 likes. Can we get 22 likes in here? We got 21 people. I'm sure 21 people didn't already like it, but I just reset my live stream on TikTok. So I'm focusing on YouTube right now. So if you have any questions on YouTube, definitely drop them in because that's what I'm focusing on right now. Well, I have about 1 year and some change in help desk. What do you mean by 1 year and some change in help desk, Breon? Curious there. What do you mean by that? Maybe I should even make this bigger. Maybe I should make this. Well, actually, let me take this out. I'm going to change my thing live really quickly. I'm going to just make it really, really big. So I'm going to I'm just going to make this smaller. So Levi, Anonymous, Ryan Gosling Lover. I've seen Ryan Gosling Lover multiple times. Like, cybersecurity is easy. Yeah, cybersecurity is easy. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, honestly. I'm going to just say easy. But shout out to my YouTube folks. We're at 24 likes. I want to hit 50 likes on this live stream on YouTube. And like I said, if you have any questions, call in. I'm very, very curious on what questions you guys have for me. And if you called in a second ago and I didn't pick up, then if you called in a second ago and I didn't pick up my phone, I was on another line. Like, just I got to get into cybersecurity. Sounds super easy. like my opinion is that it's not as difficult as people think. It's just that the vast majority of people consume way too much information and they don't act on it, and that makes it difficult for them to get in. Do you know cyber diplomacy? No. I ran into this one girl that was like I think she did like IT legal or something. I don't even know. Why is my live offline? What? Very strange. I don't know what that was about. My TikTok live went offline. I don't know why it went offline. But anyways, I'm restarting it. Is it better to start cloud by getting an IT support job first or a knock roll first? It doesn't really matter as long as you actually get some skin in the game and experience under your belt. I don't think it's really like, it doesn't really matter the entry point. You may as well consider that like all roads lead to home. That's what I would tell somebody. All roads lead to home. So as long as you're getting started, you're going to be in a better position to get to that end goal, right? Your videos are very helpful. Thanks for all your effort. Shout out to Anurag Diwan 5518. Make sure you like the live stream if you're getting some value on YouTube. Is it better to been an MSP for 3 years? I feel like the lifetime of being at an MSP really should be like, what happened? Why did the live end? It could be me. It could be me being paranoid, but what I think is that either people are mass reporting my live stream or I don't know. Cause there was a point like a couple days ago where my live stream got shut down for nudity. And clearly nobody wants to see a bald, old man naked on live. So I don't know how that even happened. So I wouldn't even be surprised if people are like mass reporting my live stream in the back end or something. I have no idea. Frogger said the feds are onto him. Somebody says, try to get on your website for an interview, but didn't have any times or dates available, or was it possibly my security setting? Lee Duhart 105. So Lee, if you're trying to get scheduled, DM me right now at my free community, and we'll go ahead and get a slot in schedule for you. But yeah, if you are trying to book a call, just DM me right now in my free community and we'll get it scheduled. Bro, I don't know how you watch Stefan Merrick's vids. I'm so bored. Stefan is the GOAT, bro. Like, if we're being honest, Stefan is the GOAT. Like, how, bro? How is my live just getting, like, cooked on TikTok? What? There's no way. There's no way. Someone has to be mass reporting my live stream on TikTok, bro. There's no way right now. What? How? How is that possible? How is that Okay, for sure. Something is up with my TikTok live, for sure. Something is 100% up with my TikTok live. Like, I don't know. So, okay, I ain't even got, like, no bullshit. I think someone is possibly targeting my TikTok live or something, because it's just like, it's literally just dying. Like, it's just ending with no notification or anything. It's super strange. That 16-year-old is coming to get you. I mean, I answered his questions. I gave him my opinion. Like, I gave him legitimate advice that I would give to my little brother if he told me, hey, I'm 16 and I could do penetration testing. That's crazy, bro. Somebody's definitely reporting my live or something. Nah, you said don't get famous. It's over with. Okay. So I've been in a help desk role MSP for 3 years. I'm in my early 30s and want to break into cloud. What would you tell me regarding getting into Azure, which I do have some experience where I'm at? I mean, well, if you have experience with Azure, I would say leverage that vendor relationship at the MSP to have them pay for pay for your cloud certification so you could pivot into a role. But if you have experience, of course, like you want to document that, you want to share that, you want to make sure that it's publicly available so people can see you have an Azure cloud skill set. Frogger says, just put a hat on and the nudity will stop. I have a hat somewhere. Actually, that's what I'm going to do next time. I'm going to wear a hat next time I stream and see if that changes anything. See if I don't get any bald comments. But yo, I've never went live and just had my live end like randomly. That's so crazy. Where's the hoodie? Actually, yeah, you're right. I do have a Snuggie. I could wear my Snuggie with the hoodie on it, honestly. Somebody says, great content always. Thank you very much. Any Linux certs you suggest to learn practically? I don't necessarily. Whoa. Bro, okay, no. Somebody's definitely targeting my TikTok live, bro. Somebody is definitely targeting my TikTok live. Like, it's just ending. Like, it's just ending. Hold on. Let me do a speed test or something really quickly. Check my speed on TikTok. Yeah, my speed on TikTok is like high. Like, what are we talking about right now? Yeah, I don't even know, bro. I literally don't even know what's up with TikTok, bro. Yeah, your TikTok is fried. Yeah, my TikTok is fried, bro. I don't know. Like, my connection is fine, bro. Like, YouTube, I never ever have any issues. TikTok, they're just like frying me. I literally don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say. What pushed you into getting in the cloud? Being depressed in my college dorm and someone that I went to high school with shooting themselves in the head. That's what got me into the space unintentionally. Like, I never decided to do something like that. Like, it was unintentional and it just happened. It just happened, right? But shout out to my YouTube folks. If we could get 30 likes in the YouTube live, definitely that'll be awesome. Unc, they are on you. Was that unintentional? What do you mean, was it unintentional? I'm not even touching the mouse, but my live stream is just ending on TikTok. What do you mean, was it unintentional? Shout out to my YouTube folks, because what in the world? The live ends every 5 seconds on TikTok. I have to have somebody's like, what's the word? Somebody's DDoSing my TikTok live. Somebody's DDoSing my TikTok live. You mess with the wrong people. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't even talk to anybody in the tech space like that. The only people that I like when I say I literally have a handful of people that I talk to on. I have a handful of people that I talk to in real life, like, that are content creators. I don't have any beef with anybody. Like, I don't get how I could possibly have I don't know, bad actors or something. Did you go to university? Yeah, I got a bachelor's in computer science. The bald comments are so cringe. Lil Gen Alpha kids with no crotch hair dissing someone in his 20s for shaving his head is crazy. I mean, if I had the genetic choice, I would definitely have locks right now. I would have a full flowing mane of hair. But, you know, God decided that's not in my cards. I'm not that upset about it. Can we get to 40 likes on YouTube? Can we get to 40 likes? Can we get to 40 likes on YouTube? Is computer security a good degree from the UK? There's a computer security degree in the UK. Interesting. I got locks. Feel good right now. Breon, nobody asked you if you had locks, brother. Okay, I didn't ask. I didn't ask you. Ain't nobody ask you that, bro. Yeah, I mean, computer security. I mean, I generally, before like I decide on something like a degree, I always try and look at the actual offering of the bachelor's program, because every program isn't created equal. And that's why I did my last video on Western governors. Like, every program isn't equal. See, I was going to send you a few strands for your journey. Man, I'm cooling, B. I'm cooling, B. I got the curly fro taper feeling immaculate. Hey, bro. So when did this become the barber stream? You feel what I'm saying? I asked for more money my last promotion and they admitted I was underpaid, but I can't do anything. What you mean you can't do anything, pussy? Just go get another job. What? I like, if you're underpaid and you know you're underpaid, just go get another fucking job. What are we talking about right now? Bro said I can't do anything. Literally, just go get another job. What are we talking about? Can you mentor me? Okay, like, I'm gonna be honest. I think people are a little bit too comfortable calling me Unc. I am in my mid-20s. Do we have to go through the nickname scale again? I think that's what we have to do. I think we need to go through the nickname scale so you people understand what the tiers are, right? So you have Lil Bruh, and then you have Bruh, and then you have Big Bruh, and then you have Unk, and then you have Pops. I am in my mid-20s. At most, I'm probably Big Bruh. After 28, I'm gonna relinquish any usage of the word bruh and just say I'm Unk at 28, right? But all I'm saying is I'm not Unk, and I think people are way too comfortable with that right now. Do you think Western Governors Azure program is legit? Yeah, I think it's better than I think it's better than I think it's better than the AWS track based on the documentation on their website. Somebody told me there's more certifications in the program than there are listed on the website, but why the fuck is it not in the PDF for the website? Like literally before I made that video, I pulled the actual PDF from the Western Governors University website, and it didn't have any additional certifications outside of the ones I referenced in the video. How should I start? Get your Security Plus at the very least, so you could be exposed to different sectors of the cybersecurity space, because it's not all just one space. You get what I'm saying? How old were you when you started getting into the space? About 16, 17, really just building computers, playing RPGs, video games, breaking things and putting them back together. Security Plus first or Network Plus? Network Plus or Security Plus? How did you guys ask that same question back to back? Are you guys watching in the same room or something? But I would say really it doesn't matter. I think you should, like, if I had to start my career over from scratch, I would go Network Plus first, finish that in 4 weeks, and then finish Security Plus in 2 weeks because of the overlap. And then from there, I would go and get my actual vendor-specific certifications, right? Somebody literally just asked the same question on YouTube as soon as I said that. Network Plus if you have no experience. I mean, either one of these, like starting either one of those is a good decision. It's objectively a good decision, but there's no requirement for you to get any one before the other. But there is considerable overlap between the two certifications, and I do think that should be noted as you proceed. But if I had to start my career over personally, I would go Network Plus first and then Security Plus right after. Like literally, like as soon as you pass Network Plus, do Security Plus like that same day type shit. Security Plus requires some knowledge, so you can't skip into it if you know a bit. You can skip into it if you know a bit. Yeah, like you can skip into Security Plus. You don't absolutely have to be some master to pass Security Plus. Security Plus is really just vocabulary terms and concepts, if we're being honest. Like you don't have to have tons of knowledge to pass your Security Plus. You can really just do it any day of the week if you really want to. Okay, well, it looks like my live stream is not getting turned off by the feds, so I guess. What certifications and projects would be helpful in landing a junior SOC role? I have a video on what I would do to get into a SOC role if I was literally targeting a SOC analyst role. But what I would do personally is I would go Network Plus, Security Plus, I would go Network Plus, Security Plus, AZ900, AZ104, Splunk Core, and Splunk Power User, in my opinion. That's what I would do. Because you wanna learn the fundamental cybersecurity things, Network Plus, Security Plus. You want to learn a cloud platform, AZ900, AZ104, and then you want to learn an actual SIM tool, which is Splunk, and that's what the Splunk Core, Splunk Power User is for, right? So that's just my opinion. I'm not a SOC analyst. That's just what I think. And can we get to 40 likes on YouTube? And for my TikTok people that are just coming in, I'm streaming on YouTube and I'm streaming on TikTok. So don't think that I'm looking away. And how has nobody called in yet? I thought I would have a caller very soon, if we're being honest here. Security Plus. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is it good to take on CCNA when I'm pursuing bachelor's of cybersecurity? Yeah, the CCNA is a gold standard for networking. Like, it's objectively good to get regardless of where you are in the IT space, I believe. Out of all the live streams I've seen, this is the most knowledgeable. Shout out to Mirage for recognizing some sauce there. Sorry, what's your background? What have you done and working on? I have a cloud background, so for the most part, I do development, security, operations. Thoughts on GRC and cybersecurity? GRC is niche in comparison to the other fields of the space, in my opinion. And I think it's been more popular in these last few years. Same thing with IAM. It's just like, if high level, you're going to make a lot of money just like everyone else in the space, if we're being honest. Let me answer this call really quick. So, hello caller. Everybody gets one question. What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Wilber, and I'm a cybersecurity student in college. But my question is, how can I do, or what should be my abilities, my skills, to get into an inter in the summer next year?
Okay. So just to be clear, everybody gets one question, but what I always tell college students is these are the three things you want to do if you're in college and you want to get into a cybersecurity role. The one thing you want to do is get Security Plus. I don't care what your end goal is, you want to get Security Plus before you graduate. Second thing is you want to do projects related to the job title you're pursuing. So you need to identify what job title you're pursuing before you get any other certifications. Third, you want to get a mentor that has the job title in real life that you want to do so that they can actually advise you on how to steer and navigate that roadway. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good deal, brother. But what was I yapping about before that call? I don't even remember. I think I was just answering questions from the chat. Search for data center position. You don't really, actually I made a video on that a little while ago. So for data center roles, I think AZ800 is really good. AZ800 and a Security Plus would be fine. Well, either or, but I would definitely go towards the AZ800 instead, in my opinion. I suggest getting familiar with Nmap tool and Kali Linux for junior SOC analysts. I'm not a SOC analyst, but that doesn't sound like inherently bad advice, honestly. That doesn't sound bad at all. I'm a military veteran with secret clearance, and I worked in military cyber operations. That's dope. Love to hear that. What certs would you recommend to break into a federal position? Well, I mean, there's different stringent requirements for federal roles. I'm not going to say it's one size shoe fits all, but go and look at cleared roles and see what the requirements are for the roles. I'm not going to make a recommendation there specifically, but I know for federal roles in the cloud space, you definitely have to have at least your AZ-104. For Google cloud roles that are federal, you got to have your cloud engineer or your cloud architect. For AWS, same thing. You got to have your solutions architect associate or your sysops equivalent. Different federal contracts have different stringent requirements, so it's not going to be one size shoe fits all. But I would advise you to just look at some of the clear job listings related to what you're looking for. Prepping for AZ-104 before doing AZ-500, what resources do you recommend for it? I have a video on my YouTube channel titled How to Pass AZ-104 in 4 Weeks. It's a combination of Microsoft Learn and Tutorials Dojo, honestly. But shout out to my YouTube folks. We got 36 people in the YouTube live stream. Can we get to 36 likes? We got 36 people in here. Let's get to 36 likes on YouTube. If I'm not giving enough sauce, then tell me I'm not giving enough sauce in the comments. Tell me, Charles, you're not answering my questions. Maybe even comment the same question twice because I might have missed it or something. But boss is the free community school under maintenance. The school community is up and running, but if you're in another country, you might be walled off by the platform. That's probably why. But any feedback on SolarWinds, they have a security and event manager. The only time I've ever heard about SolarWinds personally is from network engineers. I don't even really know what the tool does. The only knowledge I've ever gotten from SolarWinds is from a network engineer on YouTube. I don't work with the tool. I've never worked with the tool. I don't even really know what it does, to be honest. Do we need to go to college before we progress in this field? And if yes, what's the next step after? You don't have to go to college. College is a good thing to have, but it's not necessary. I'm new. What's your YouTube channel name? It's Cloud Tech Exec. Same thing on TikTok, same thing on Instagram. Hello caller, everybody gets one question. Don't ask me some shit that you could just Google. But go for it.
Hi, so I have a question for someone who just got Security Plus and is looking to go into IEM. Currently, I don't have any experience in IT straightforward or transitioning. is this a good idea to start with data science jobs since I'm getting like recruiters hit me up about it, or rather focus on like IT support jobs? I'm looking for guidance to get to IEM. I know I can start from the low bottom, but I need guidance from there.
Yeah, if you don't have a job, then I would just suggest you take any job. And if data science is what's being presented to you, then take it. You may not like it at first. You may love it when you start. But if you don't have a job and someone's offering you a job and you're just trying to get into the space, just do it for the time being. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Good deal. What Breon said, are there interview tips in the community? I must be blind. There's literally a whole section in the classroom that's titled interviews, Breon. How have you missed that? How have you missed that entirely? Is it me? Did I not make that clear? I literally like what? Okay. Kind of crazy. But the agency I own just staffs cloud security platform engineers and DevOps. Dave, are you looking for more engineers? Is that what you're saying, Dave? If I'm going to college, what should I do to get me a good portfolio before graduating? You need to build projects related to the job title you're looking for. So if it's SOC analyst, if it's threat detection, you need to have projects related to that skill set. Been hearing that IAM roles been exploding lately for some reason. I think objectively IAM is more popular because there's more IAM content creators. I don't necessarily know what the IAM market looks like in today's day and age. Shout out to my YouTube people. We got 37 people in the YouTube live stream. Can we get to 37 likes? Can we get to 37 likes if we got 37 people in the YouTube live stream? Bro, I've been looking at AWS shit all day. My brain is fried. Well, fry it some more, man. You got to build up that mind muscle connection type shit. Let me see. I believe you said that you fill about 10 to 20 applications a day. How many employers are you actually accepting work from? So the desire to put in applications on a daily basis is to keep my profile in front of people. I don't accept work from everyone because why would I? But the goal is to just keep me in everybody's face because you never know when, I don't know, you're going to get hit with a reduction in workforce or terminated for some reason. There's no reason for you to not keep putting your resume out there, even if you have a job. Thanks to your inspirations, I've passed my Security Plus as of right now. One project is Elk Stack. I've been working in IT operations analyst at a bank for 3 years. I want to know what to do next. Get them to pay for your certification. They're a bank. They have a training budget. You should be leveraging that relationship to get more certifications for free. What's your opinion on the data analytics field? I don't know shit about data analytics. I've built out data platforms. I've built out data warehouses before. I know how to do that, but I'm not a data analyst. I'm not a data scientist. I'm not a data engineer, but I understand a little bit about data engineering, a little bit. Interviewing is a skill you got to practice. I 100% agree with Levi. Like if you have had a job for several years and you're not able to go and get another job in 2 weeks, then you're basically a sitting duck, honestly. So are you just applying to get exposure? Not a bad thing. LOL, great idea. Of course. Applying to get exposure is the name of the game. You want to keep your skill set in front of everyone's face every single day, forever. I'm 28 and still level 1 SOC. Feels like I'm lagging so far. How do I get to that level 2 role? Move to another company, literally. The perception of you being quote unquote behind is in your own head. Everyone runs their own race. The Navy doesn't interview Levi, LOL. Well, then leave the Navy. What the fuck are we talking about? How should I get started? I just graduated in high school and I'm going to ASU for computer science. If you're in college or high school, you need to get your Security Plus. Like, it doesn't really matter where you are based on your starting point. But if you are, let me rephrase that. It doesn't really matter how old you are. If you are just starting, I think your objective first step should be Security Plus. They just yell at you and put you in a pool. And that's why I don't like the military. I think the military is a last resort option. I don't think it's that valuable as people dick ride. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question. What's your name and what do you do? And don't ask me some shit that you could just Google either. Hold on. Are you far away from your mic? It sounds like you're like hella far away from it.
Nah.
Hold on. It might be me. Let me double check. Go for it.
So, like, can you mentor me on, like, I'm in high school. I'm going join a college to a technical school for cybersecurity. So like I will pay that bread to get mentored, you know.
Okay, book a call and we'll talk about it.
What you said? What?
I said book a call and we'll talk about it.
Book a call?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do I book a call?
Well, join my community, shoot me a DM, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Alrighty. Pay that bread. Bro hopped on the call and said, I can pay that bread. I'm very skeptical of anyone who refers to making an investment as pay that bread. However, I'm going to be optimistic. Breon has said something about being retired. Let me see what he said. He said, I was on the verge of being homeless, so I chose homelessness, i.e. the military. Yeah, I think getting into the military is like the vast majority of people's last resort option. There's nothing wrong with that being your last option, but if you have other options, I would exercise those before going into the military, 100%. He sound like he tricking. Hey, man, regardless of what he's doing, I don't move for free. I don't give a damn what's going on. I'm not moving shit for free. So I make content. I make tons of great content. I make tons of free content. I'm always going to make content unless God has other plans for me. But do not be fooled that I'm just out here doing shit out of the kindness of my heart. Because that's not me, okay? What's your how many hours a day do you recommend studying? Two max. I think on average, like most people like if you're just getting into studying a certification, you're probably gonna tap out at 1 hour, but at max I think two is really where you hit a sweet spot and have time to recover for the next day. He wants to go the legitimate route. What do you mean by that? I'll pay that bread and eat it too. Interesting. Somebody said I'll pay that bread and eat it too in YouTube. Very interesting. How do I get in the cloud path if I free player? The certifications are so expensive. If you can't afford a certification at all, you just need to get an entry-level job and then get your employer to pay for your certifications. Like if you can't afford a certification at all, but you know you want to get into the cloud space, just get an entry-level job. Any entry-level job, and make sure that you use the training budget, training stipend, training opportunity with the business you work at so you could get the certifications you need to be competitive. But saying that you don't have the bread is like all I'm saying is that crackheads find a way to make money every day to go get high. Are you going to let a crackhead outwork you? That's for you to decide, right? Somebody says, is a degree necessary? I spoke to someone in the industry and they stated that they aren't hiring anyone without a master's. How true is this? Different industries are regulated to different degrees. There isn't a hard requirement for you to have a degree for you to get into the space, right? Crazy analogy, Unc. It's an analogy that everybody understands, bro. Like when have you ever seen a crackhead that's not tweaked the fuck out of their mind? When have you ever seen a crackhead that hasn't been tweaked the fuck out of their mind or in between tweaking out? Where are they getting the money to tweak out from? They don't have a job. So somewhere, somehow, some way, they're hustling in the background to get dollars so they can go and tweak out. You're telling me that they can figure out how to get bread to get something done and you can't? If your answer is yes, get the fuck out of my live stream, to be honest. How long does it take to learn AZ 104? 4 weeks. I have a YouTube video, a long form YouTube video on how to pass it in 4 weeks. And that's what I did. Hey man, first time here at one of your lives. I appreciate what you're doing for us, homies. Shout out to Vinabi6615. Make sure you like the live stream. For those of you who are just tuning in on YouTube live, make sure you like the live stream. I'm trying to hit 50 likes in the YouTube live stream. If I can hit 50 likes, I don't know. I might drop some bread on somebody on YouTube. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, man, like everyone's always like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Whole time they're getting out hustled by crackheads. If I told a crackhead I would give you a whole rock to pass your AZ 900 certification in 14 days, I bet money they would do it. I used to do LinkedIn learning courses a few years ago. When I was done, I would put the certification of completion, and that got me hit up on LinkedIn by recruiters. That's if you can afford the certification. Yeah, LinkedIn is like an exceedingly powerful job hunting platform. Like exceedingly powerful job hunting platform. If you are not using LinkedIn in your job hunt, you're low key, high key shooting yourself in the foot. If we're being honest here. But yeah, try to find a way to get money for the cert. 100% agree. We are at 43 likes on YouTube. I want to get to 50 likes this YouTube live stream. If I'm not dropping enough sauce, if I'm not answering enough questions on YouTube, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat or call in and force me to drop sauce on your specific question. And if I missed your call again, because I might have missed it because my phone is face down. But if I'm not dropping enough sauce, if I'm not answering enough questions, let me know. But I want to get to 50 likes on YouTube. Easy. 50 likes on YouTube. Takao says hi. What's going on, Takao? And Joker just followed me. Shout out to Joker for the follow. Appreciate that, broski. We need to get your numbers up. I can't super chat you. How many numbers do you need to get a super chat? How do you get a super chat on YouTube? Well, do I have to hit a certain amount of subscribers or something to be monetized or something? Very interesting. I forgot you could do super chats on YouTube. That's very, very interesting. Somebody said I have a few labs done, trying to get an interview, but the site has me a year out. Interesting. I just finished Dion's Security Plus course and definitely seems like a lot more than what most people say. But at the same time, I also hear he makes his course harder than the exam, so you ace it. Yeah, so like the main two mechanisms for studying and passing Security Plus are Professor Messer and Jason Dion. Jason Dion has historically been known for having a more difficult Security Plus exam than Professor Messer. And like there have been live streams where Jason Dion has got on and said, getting your Security Plus isn't what's going to get you hired. It's the hands-on that you, the hands-on skills, the hands-on labs that you develop that is actually what gets you hired. And Just Tay the person that called in and said that he wants to spend some bread. I ain't see no DM from you on school, bro, or whoever it was that called in and said they want to spend bread with Unc. I ain't see no DM on school yet. Can I help? Reverse engineering is part of cybersecurity. It is. It's just not necessarily. I'm not gonna say it's that popular. I mean, the concept of reverse engineering something is something valid that you apply to certain problems that you want to solve. But I guess when you're saying reverse engineering, I guess you mean reverse engineering malware or something like that. I don't know. Can a help desk position help getting into cloud security? Yes. Every road leads to home. Like the entry point role doesn't matter as much, but the desire to upskill is what's going to really get you into the role that you're looking for. Is the AZ-104 necessary even if you feel that you're ready to get the AZ-500? The AZ-104 isn't a requirement to get the 500. You could just go straight to the 500, but I recommend people do the 104 into the 500 because you still need platform understanding from a administration perspective. And I think the 500 gives you security specifics, but not the baseline fundamentals for platform usage. Do you think having a good programming background can help in cyber? Yeah, for sure. 100%. Bro, the interviews has all your interviews, not any advice. The advice is the interview, Breon. The advice is the interview. And at the very top of the classroom, it says interview. Like literally at the very top, there's like a page that I made that gives you questions that I think everyone should be privy to. But the goal is to watch the interview so that you can understand how to interview. Like you're not gonna just read a fucking document and then learn how to interview. Like that's not how it works. You either have to do the interview or consume interview content. Let me see. You should try doing Twitch also, maybe some kind of simultaneous stream. Yeah, so I'm live streaming on YouTube and I'm live streaming on TikTok. Maybe Twitch will be a lot stronger, but I don't know. To enable YouTube Super Chats, your channel needs access to YouTube's fan funding features. Fan funding features is a type of alliteration that I never wish to experience again. But let's get the 50 likes on YouTube. We only need 6 likes for us to get to 50 likes on this YouTube live stream. So if you guys can help me get to 50 likes, then let me know. He says, Unc, check your DMs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to you after this live stream so we can get you scheduled. look, bro, all I'm saying is don't call in and say you ready to go ahead and work with me and then pussy out when it actually comes time to actually put your money where your mouth is. Like that'll just make me be like, I will actively never speak to you again. Right. So I'm going to DM you after this live stream and we'll see what happens. Stream on Kick. On Kick? I don't even think my type of live streams is like that valuable for Kick. I don't even think my viewer base uses Kick. I'll try Kick if we're being honest. I'll try it. But shout out to the YouTube folks. We are 5 likes away from getting to 50 likes on YouTube. Kick is pushing it. So I mean, what should I? I mean, if I get on Kick and they give me a gambling sponsorship, you damn right I'm finna push it. You damn right I'm going to push it. Let me see. I'm just scrolling down in the chat real quick. Do most cyber jobs require security clearance or is it more private sector? Bro, stop spamming that weak ass fucking question. Like, that's some shit that you could go comment in Simone B's live stream or something. Like, that's literally a question that you would just type into Google to find out that the answer is no. Like, no, you don't need a security clearance to get into cybersecurity. A security clearance is good to have. It's not a need to have. You go over to Kick is over with. What you mean go over to Kick? Oh, I'll get DDoS on Kick. Is that what you're saying? Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question. Don't ask me some shit that you could Google. But go ahead, brother.
Just give me one more minute. I'll call you.
For sure. Bro was about to ask me some shit he could Google. Bro was about to ask me some shit he could Google. Holy fuck. I heard this girl in the background laughing at that question. That's funny as hell. Shout out to Alejandro Gillick. Shout out to Alejandro. We got 2 more likes to get to 50 likes in the YouTube live stream. Shout out to my YouTube folks. Let's get to 50 likes. We're 1 like away from 50 likes on YouTube. Shout out to my YouTube people. Why can't we have a call with you? Because people be bullshitting and wasting my time. Like, I make content and I work full time. I only have so much time for me to invest in people that actually want to learn. I don't want to fucking talk to people who are too lazy to Google some shit. I want to actually help people solve specific problems. Not, do I need to get Security Plus? If you're calling in or you're booking a call with me to ask me, do you need Security Plus? I am not the content creator for you. You need to go to fucking Simone B's live stream or something, but not mine, because that is some shit that I have a YouTube video on. Shout out to my YouTube people. We're at 50 likes. Shout out to my YouTube people. Likes completed. Shout out to my YouTube people. 50 likes. So we're 2 live streams in a row and we're now at 50 likes. Cyber isn't easy. It depends on what industry you work in. I think easy is subjective, but if you disagree with me, you could call in. I'd love to talk about it. You invest in me, I'll give you 15% of my earnings in the future. I ain't doing no back end, nothing. I'm not. I like my money up front. If I go work for a business, I'm not getting back ends. No, you got to pay me up front. You got to pay me for each hour. You got to pay me monthly, right? And we got to have a retainer. Like, I don't do no back end, nothing. Either you all in or you all out. And if you not all in, then I'm clearly not the guy for you. And that's cool, because you could go do some, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need people who are in to win, right? Use AI agents to screen calls. I mean, I don't think I've had a lot of trolls recently. So, I mean, I don't know if I don't even think I'm that big to really screen calls. Like, I'm barely getting calls right now. How many calls have I had over the last hour? Maybe like 8. Well, maybe 10, but still. Is not doing it for the love of the game. He's doing it for the currency. That is absolutely correct. I take great joy and pride in helping people level up, but everybody don't want to level up. The vast majority of people want to, like 90% of people want to just bullshit and waste time and ask me some shit that they could Google. That's why bro hung up. Somebody said, I just joined. Why is CISP overrated? I think CISP is overrated because it's a requirement for a lot of low level roles that don't require 5 years of experience. That's why I think it's overrated for the most part. Do you have a side business other than content creation or just your full-time career? I'm literally just an engineer that makes content. I am not that special. But there aren't any black people African American that make Azure cloud content. So I would say I'm unique in that regard. But I would say, Unc, what's the price to book a call? Booking a call is free. If anybody wants to book a call, it's free. But I 100% will guarantee you I am not talking to everybody. What other hobbies do you like doing? Golf. I like golf. I like cars. I like fighting. I like mixed martial arts. Most of the jobs I see on LinkedIn ask for 5 years for entry level, and it's discouraging to see. Any advice on how to navigate today's job market? The company's job requirements are wish lists. They're never going to get somebody that has the maximum amount of experience that they're asking for. Like if a cloud role says you need to have 13 years of experience, I promise you the person with 13 years of experience wouldn't even consider that opportunity based on the pay. They're never going to find somebody with what they're looking for on paper because they don't exist. So don't be discouraged by that. Are you just taking a call? Dallas asks, are you just taking calls? Yeah. The number on the screen is for you to call in and ask me a question, Dallas, if you wanted to. Takal says, I have a question. Well, drop it in the chat or call in and ask me. It's funny because the Jason Dion practice exams actually seem easier than Professor Messer's, in my opinion. However, I've only done Dion's course, not Messer's. Either one is fine. Either one is going to get you to pass your Security Plus. So it's not really going to be a bad decision to go with one over the other. So just pick one and then go, honestly. Does being a premium member of your community give you access to a support case in case of a blocker? No. I mean, you just get access to my actual, labs that I do. Not... Okay, somebody's calling. Let's see what's going on. It looks like Dallas is calling, potentially. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question. Don't ask me some shit that you could Google. What's your name and what do you do?
Yeah, I'm calling Dallas.
What's going on, brother?
I was just gonna say a statement. I work in cyber to fintech, and one of the things in cyber, teams are tiny, so they expect a lot out of one or two resources, right? So you secure the environment. You have to be a pro even at metrics like Power BI, Snowflake. You have a ton of apps and a lot of different domains to cover, right? You have SaaS security, AppSec security, cloud security, AI, machine learning, your typical IaaS, vulnerability management, configuration management, identity, and a lot of these teams are tiny. So in order to be able to fulfill a lot of that, you have to automate. So you have to now do scripting, Power Apps, PowerShell. So you have to understand all of that, and that's just like a part of it. You have networking, on-prem, in the cloud, MSGs, and then you have to provide evidence to all of this stuff, then automate the evidence to deliver over to GRC. So when you say it's easy, that is not easy. That's a lot that you have to know.
Yeah, and my response to that is that I 100% agree that your experience is valid and that is a reality for people. But depending on the business sector, depending on the part of the team, you may not have to manage that many things. Like there have been orgs that I've worked at where your job is just look at this cloud service management platform and respond to incidents in it. And then every other piece is siloed to a different sector of security. And I'm not saying it's not every experience in the space isn't going to be like the one you described. It sounds like you're managing an ocean of things and your team is really, really lean. That is a reality for some people, but for everyone, it's not going to be that same reality. So I'd never tell somebody, hey, you're going to be doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J, K. I'm going to say focus on A and B and then be exposed to the other letters of the alphabet as you grow your career.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing. I'm saying it's a lot and it's difficult. We're also getting paid well. I'm not saying, my base is almost 300. So, there's a reason you're getting paid, but it's complex and difficult, right? Like that's why. It's hours and hours of studying because things change over time. And these businesses will shift gears. Like for right now, right? Like every other company, they want agents. They want all this stuff, right? They want everybody to do, like with Copilot 365, E7 licenses just are coming out, or they just got released, right, for Azure. Mm-hmm. And even at my organization, they're like, we're rolling E7 out to everybody. We want everybody, doing it at every level in every department. So you then have to also build out, hardening documents and guidelines and then be able to communicate a lot of that really to the business so they understand risk, right? So I'm just saying it's now if you're just like, I don't know, looking at logs, yeah, like if you're just doing that or you're just scanning, yeah, that's easy money, right? I mean, you scan fails, you generate the report. I mean, yeah, if that's all you're doing, that's easy. I mean, let's say you're doing vulnerability scanning, right? I could do that and be playing video games. That is not much to do, right? You just have to make sure those jobs complete successfully and there's a successful report that's generated. So if you're talking about like those kind of jobs, sure. I mean, there's access management. Yeah, that's pretty easy. I mean, it doesn't necessarily take a whole lot unless you're the automation IAM person who's coding it, right? And building automations. That's much more complex because there's so many different things you have to think about. Kind of on the back end, right? Like
facts,
and also legacy platforms and not breaking stuff in production, and and there's a balance between security controls and taking down the business, right? So we're doing the DDoS to business to put in a security control, and now the business can't make money, right? So that was it. I was just going to make that statement. There are a lot of entry level stuff that I would say is absolutely easy, but definitely not like. There's definitely levels to it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything that you've said.
Cool.
All right.
That's
I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Are you in your 20s?
Yeah.
Right now, age 20s. Okay. Well, awesome. I mean, that's it took me a lot longer to get into it because I had to go the old school way, right? Networking and database administration, server exchange, all that stuff. So it is cool that people in their 20s can now get in without having to go through let's say, the traditional way that it used to be, just because of the demand. They can't wait for people to cook that way.
I would say a lot of things are just more readily available, to be honest. It's, I think, an underestimation of the available knowledge out there and an underutilization of what's available out there for free as well.
Yeah. Anyway, cool what you're doing. And you said you're Azure focused?
Facts, yeah.
Yeah. I always tell people, like, I would focus on Azure, man, because there's so many AWS people out there. There's actually a big need for straight-up Azure people. And Azure is in government. Azure is in a lot of, businesses where the data has to reside in the U.S., right? So, like, if that's the requirement, companies tend to, go to Azure. Because even at my company, we have a tough time finding Azure security engineers. It takes forever to find someone. So...
Well, if you guys need one and you're paying well, give me a call.
Are you actually looking?
I'm interested.
I don't know, man. I was gonna say pull your hair out, but I'm just like you. I got no hair either, so there's no more hair to pull out. So.
Right. As long as that check clears, I'll go buy some more hair. Right.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. And I will say, fintechs, big techs, whatever. You're working on cutting edge stuff. So I think it's cool because I don't want to work on, I don't know, mainframe security or something boring. So that is the advantage. And then you have a lot to say, right? Go into interviews and, man, I was securing agents and machine and different models, right? Decision science models. It's like, hey, I had a project where it's like, hey, we're going to ship this decision model to Experion, right? But they'll be able to access it, but we don't want them to see all of it, right? And it's going to be hosted in their environment. Well, what are we going to do? Give me a plan, right? That's the kind of stuff that we'll kind of get. So.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, brother. It's always good to have senior people call in.
Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, man. All right, take care.
Alrighty. Some other people. So I think like 2 or 3 other people had called in while that call was happening. If you called in and I missed it because I was on that call, call in again real quick and I'll pick up. I'm gonna take a couple more calls and see what you guys have to ask. Because some people, like I said, asked some bullshit. I think that was an interesting call because he called to basically co-host. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question. Don't ask me some shit that you could Google. What's your name and what do you do?
What's up, my G? I love that line, and oh boy, did that make me laugh. That was great. I just wanted to call and support the stream. Again, don't call him with some Google shit. I love the stuff that the other caller was talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, what cloud tech execs got going on here. You know, there's a bunch of people that know what's what, that are in the game, that are working in the space. Again, going to, and again, if the chat wants me to talk, let me know. I'll keep it short and sweet, and I'll let you get on with the next caller. But I want to challenge the next callers in actually treating the next call as if they're, you know, about to do a job interview with you as a screening person, right? Don't call with some stupid shit and like know exactly what you're about to talk about. But
Facts. Yeah. I appreciate you calling in to let everybody else know.
Roger that. All right. So yeah, you know what the other caller was talking about. You know, having to wear like multiple hats. That's the reality in the space right now. A lot of the job postings out there are very complex. Again, it's looking for individuals to have some clarity, some color in the various aspects of what they're utilizing in their workflow and their operations, right? Don't feel like you have to be a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you're able to, and like the other caller, he's able to manage all that stuff, hats off to him. Other people are able to, or they put their focus on specializing in certain fields, again, like yourself, in cloud environments and in cloud work, right? Cloud work, people need to understand that cloud work in general is not just easy. Again, layering all these other aspects onto things, you're pretty much, you know, you've got exposure, you got time on, you got skills, and you are able to not only do the work, but provide insight in those team syncs, those meetings, and communicating to senior leadership, C-suite, AppSec, InfoSec, engineering, C-suite, trust and safety, whatever you want to like cover, however big your organization is, right? Just, you know, do your best at specializing in what you understand and what you can do well. If you're thrown in a position where you have to wear simultaneous hats, hey man, it is what it is. You're in the trenches. And you know what? Hats off to you. Everybody's going to respect that. Everybody runs lean, but again, that's my 2 cents. Just want to challenge the other callers that are coming in. Treat the call with a bit of, hey, if I'm going to have a screening call with a potential employer, cloud tech exec he's going to know what's what, just like all these recruiters are. So tell him and, you know, the stream what you bring to the table, not just how do I get a 6-figure job or whatever.
Facts.
Nonsense is going, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, my brother.
Appreciate you calling in, brother.
Roger that. Take care.
Yes, sir. Anybody, I think someone else had called at the same time as this, but if you did, call back and I'll pick up. It was like some 44 number. I feel like that was a UK number. I very well think it was a UK. What area code is 44? Thanks for, but anyways, yeah, shout out to the senior people calling in. Normally good advice, but not for a call-in show. Know why you're here. Okay, look, I get it, guys. Sometimes, you know, some people call in not with questions, but with an engaging conversation, right? But anywho, who was the person that just called the 44 number? If you're still watching, call in again. UK for sure. Yeah, probably the UK. I bet it's a college student. Not that there's anything wrong. I like my college students, but you know, you guys don't put a lot of thought into asking questions. I will say it's like people go to college and then they turn their brain off and then they turn their Claude AI tokens up, but then they never prompt the AI for some of the stupid questions that they ask. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Hello, caller. Everybody gets one question. Don't ask me some shit that you could Google.
Yeah, 100%. I'll try not to. Question. So, I have some background in like audit and accounting, and I've like fairly recently transferred into, I guess, IT pretty general to help desk work. And ideally, my plan is to get into cloud, but I'm trying to do that through the networking route. I want to see your take into like what were like the most relevant certificates that someone introductory would take to pivot from like general to networking to potentially using that to get into cloud.
Yeah, I like when you say the networking route, like somebody else that has more experience than me is going to say some shit like, well, first, also, I want to say certificates and certifications aren't the same thing. Just for everybody watching, certificates are toilet paper. Certifications are actually valuable because you have to pay for them, take a private exam that someone has to validate for you to get the actual certification. So that's the main thing I want to say. Those are two totally different things. Second thing, somebody way more senior than me is going to say some shit like, go get a CCNA before you start learning cloud. You don't need a CCNA. You could just go straight from Security Plus, AZ 104, and then dive in from there. But you said cloud networking. There's a cloud networking track on Azure as well too. You could just go Security Plus, AZ 104, and then I think it's the Azure 700. They literally have a cert that's called Azure Cloud Networking or something like that. That would be really good, but ultimately learning that skill set and learning Terraform to automate against what you've learned from those certifications is going to be really good. That's what I would tell someone to do.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone says Pulumi 2 if you don't prefer HCL. Yeah, Pulumi, I probably haven't seen as many Pulumi engagements because I don't even like put Pulumi on my resume. I've worked with it before, but I never really understand the use case of why some people go with Pulumi. I think Terraform state management is just like really, really strong in comparison. But also, I'm not even a Pulumi guy. I'm not super knowledgeable on it, so I really wouldn't even have the best opinion as to why Pulumi is not as good as Terraform. It's just going to be based on me being biased with my Terraform experience. But cloud networking is niche. Only about 40% of the CCNA actually applies. I agree with that statement. Would AZ800 and AZ801 make sense to combine with 104? I think AZ800 is all you need to get a help desk job. I don't necessarily think you need the 801 before you go to 104. I think 800 to 104 makes better sense in my opinion. Cloud or DevOps engineer, question mark. The two terms get interchanged a lot and cloud or DevOps engineer, the two terms get interchanged a lot and contribute a lot to a lot of confusion for someone new to the space. Can you clarify, and do you need Kubernetes for cloud engineering? No, you don't need Kubernetes for cloud engineering. There are Kubernetes cloud engineers, though. Also, DevOps is a methodology. You can apply DevOps methodologies and principles to a cloud engineering role, but not necessarily be a DevOps engineer. But I think for you to be a competitive DevOps engineer, it is based on a cloud skill set, in my opinion. Building cloud to implement and operate. Any tips? IAC for sure. What's the specific question there? DK Masepi. Hey, I just joined the stream and heard you mention AZ104. Do you have a quick few search to get started right after having Security Plus and Network Plus? I literally have a video on what I think you should do to become a six-figure cloud engineer on my YouTube channel. If you have Security Plus and Network Plus, I would do AZ104, Terraform Associate, and then whatever else you want after that. I think that's just overall like a six-figure skill set there. Maybe a pipeline certification of some kind. Terraform is better. I started TF and Pulumi same time, just stating that's the option you got. Yeah, I never really liked Pulumi anyways, in my opinion. But I've been yapping for a while. I'm about to go get some food and do other stuff. All right, man. Let me see what else is fucking going on here.